Information is power. Tell the truth. Information is power. Tell the truth. Information is power.
Okay, everybody, this is the Information Man Show. Welcome. I know it's a late night. Whoever comes through, I appreciate it. I was thinking about doing this tomorrow, today. It's probably midnight for most of you across the country, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, what have you. It's about 10:18 in California where I'm at and reside. And I was going to produce this, record it and then upload it, but I just felt like, hey, what the hell, it's a Saturday night, go live, Chadwick Boseman, we all know the brother passed away. I think I got the news when I went live. I believe I got the news when I went live yesterday when I was talking about the Jacob Blake situation out there in Wisconsin and what those police did to that brother, shooting him 7 times in the back. You got the white supremacist Rittenhouse who gets to go out there, get water from the cops, get treated like luxury, and then he gets to go out there and kill a few people, and then he's able to go back home, and then of course they went and got him, but it just shows you the contrast in who gets justice in this country and who does not get justice. Let me say that brother Chadwick Chadwick, we see him as just an actor, but this is a brother who definitely was a very inspiring brother. I believe he's a graduate of Howard University in Washington, D.C., one of the historical black colleges. And let me read something to you that this brother said at the commencement of the university, because it speaks to who he really is as a man, as a person. And why I do that, let me put a little picture of the brother up here right next to me where it should be. Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman, student activism at Howard commencement. So he talked about student activism. And yesterday when I went live, somebody made a really good point that it's kind of a shame that the brother left us at a time like this when we have black men getting shot by police. So it's kind of a bad thing that the brother had to leave this earth, seeing that nothing has still changed, particularly for black people and definitely for black men who are the victims oftentimes of the police brutality. Not that women are not in our community, but black men particularly have been the targets. And so it's a shame that he had to leave the earth. And the last top news item that this brother had to listen to for quite some time was the fact that another black man has been shot, has been killed. And it's really a shame. Now, this brother spoke at a graduation, which is where he went to school, Howard University, as I said before. This was some time ago during a weekend where he gave a commencement speech, and he said that he said to the students at Howard University that you should always be fueled by the sense of understanding your purpose. What is your purpose in life? Okay? Being fueled by that. And he talked about facing life challenges. And the one thing that stands in our way is fear. And Chadwick Boseman, he said to the students at Howard University, do not engage in fear. Do not let fear hold you back. This is a man, by the way, who was fighting cancer, colon cancer. Many of us didn't even know this because when we look at him on movies, whether he's playing, as you can see there, whether he's playing Jackie Robinson, this brother has he has played many different roles, whether he's playing Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, whether he's playing Thurgood Marshall. Okay, remember Thurgood Marshall? The brother has played so many of our heroes. Okay, whether he's playing, Black Panther, T'Challa, whether he's playing that type of role, the brother did it with dignity. He brought warmth to every role that he played. And there was just something special about him. And this thumbnail to me is very special because this is one of the first YouTube videos I did when I began doing YouTubing, and I got into the metaphysics of vibranium. In the movie Black Panther, he had vibranium in his suit, which was sort of this melanated energy, which black people, we do have this in us if we would just learn how to tap into our third eye, tap into that dark matter energy that's inside of us. That's really what it was. And then you learn later on that Captain America's shield was actually made of this vibranium. So this particular thumbnail was from a video I did where I got into the Afrocentric metaphysics of what the movie Black Panther meant, because it had so many different messages in the movie that I thought was very powerful or felt with. Now, this is the movie that we should have never slept on, and that is Get On Up. He played James Brown, did a masterful job of playing James Brown, just as he did in playing Jackie Robinson. Okay. And once again, I'm going to repeat this again. He did a mastery job of playing Thurgood Marshall, who I must give a lot of love to because he is my frat brother, member of my fraternity. But this is a black man who fought hard for black people in America, okay, in this country. And this is why yesterday when I did my stream about Jacob Blake, all these black men that I just put on the screen, whether it be a Jackie Robinson, a Thurgood Marshall, which you can see the actor Chadwick Boseman is, they're taking a split picture of them, but he played these roles. These are black men who went through a hell of a lot to get to where they are, to where they were. Okay, James Brown is unfortunately no longer with us. Jackie Robinson, of course, and Thurgood Marshall. What do all those black men have in common? And then you've got Black Panther. What do they all have in common? I'll tell you what they all have in common. And the one thing that they do have in common is that, one, they all had to deal with some type of struggle. They all had to dealing with the racist institutions that we call American society. That's what they had to deal with constantly. And let me come out of a picture here so I can get back to what I was saying. There we go. So they all had to deal with some kind of struggle, the same damn struggle that we're dealing with in America today. They were dealing with it as well. And these are figures that he played. For a man who came on the scene and became an international star after Black Panther, which is probably the most popular movie that he did internationally and nationally, this brother has left us, be it a short body of work, he has left us an incredible body of work when he has played these three individuals that I spoke of, okay? And so as we think about this brother, I'm talking to black men right now, as we think about this brother, we must, as black men, think about our health. This brother was dealing with a serious health situation, and I'm going to touch on that. Let me go on to say this. This brother is from South Carolina. As I said before, when he was at Howard, he talked about taking your senses and fueling yourself, overcoming your fears, okay? He received a bachelor's degree from Howard University in fine arts in 2000, okay, and told the class of 2018, which was the class that he was speaking to that I was talking about, that intellect and spiritual journey you must undergo while you were here. So he said at Howard University, you underwent a spiritual transformation and a connection with your culture, because that is one of the reasons why you will see black people in America who gravitate towards historical black colleges, because when you go to a historical black college, you are not just seen as a number as you are in the other types of colleges. You are actually seen as family. You are actually seen as a person, and you do matter. Okay? And that's what Chadwick Boseman was talking about when he was talking to the students who graduated from Howard University in 2018. And for those of you out there that are new to my channel, don't do me the biggest favor and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you can. Subscribe to the Information Man Show, and do me the biggest favor and share this video once again in your social media, all your social media. I say peace to everybody that's in the chat room. I know you're here, but I just want to say what I have to say, because I'm coming from the gut with this. I don't have a prepared script. I was reading some things about what he said at the commencement that I thought was powerful. This is another black man that the world is better with this brother in the world than it is without him. However, I believe that Chadwick Boseman is not. We have been taught in American society that when people are no longer here in the physical body, that we get into this word that we've been conditioned to say often, which is the person's dead. I don't see him as dead, because he left us a body of work, be it short amount, different, acting roles that he played, and he left us some powerful body of work, but he also left us his energy, his words that he gave to students. Okay. And so therefore, I don't see him as dead. I just see Brother Boseman, Chadwick Boseman, has just transitioned to the next level of life. He has moved out of the third dimension, which we're all trapped in these bodies on this planet. He has moved his journey to that fifth dimension God realm. So he is in another dimension now, in my opinion. And the fact of the matter is, when you are no longer here where you are, he's an ancestor, but you just keep, life is circular, not linear. So he's not gone. He's just transitioned to another form of life. And I'm not talking about coming back as no dog and bug and all that reincarnation jazz. I'm not talking about that, because he's human, which means as a man, he's vibrating at a higher frequency than animals, bugs, and things of that nature. But I simply say that we should see it as the brother has transitioned to maybe a better place than what we may be able to comprehend right now. So, although I say that, Chadwick Boseman is a brother that, to me, for him to go through his battle with colon cancer throughout all these movies that he was making, and you can see that the brother was clearly losing weight. You can see him here on this picture now. This is a picture it's gonna blow you away, but it's relevant because we're all dealing with COVID-19. And as a result of that, some of us haven't been able to get a haircut or maybe a shave. Now, I've been lucky to be able to get my hair cut, but I was looking kind of raggedy too. Okay. And that's the thing about COVID-19 that's interesting too. Not the fact that I admire it, but it's made people go back to their primal look. Okay. You've got actors, entertainers, the everyday person, to the point where you can't get your hair done. You're going back to your primal, and here he is, okay? I mean, just the hair is out there. Here it is. So he's walking his dog, and you can see he's got a big old afro on his head. I was going to say James Brown afro, because he did play James Brown, but he's got a lot of hair on the head, and we're used to seeing him with his hair nice and cut and smooth, and there he is with a big old afro style on his head. And then you can see he got the facial hair around the side of his mask, because he probably was saying, hey, I can't go to to the barber shop. And there he is again, walking his dog, minding his own business. But what's noticeable on those pictures is that it appears like the brother was going through a situation where he was losing weight. And I think that was mentioned some time ago, that it looked like he was losing weight, and that it was the reality that he was going through some things. This hits me strong, everybody, and it should hit you strong too, but especially if you are a man, because he was 43 years old when he left this earth in his battle with colon cancer. I'm 50 years old, and if God willing, I will make 51 years old this year. So I'm a much older man than him, and he didn't live to see his 50s, which shows you how short the life that we identify with here on earth in the third dimension. It shows you how very short it is. But it also should be an alarm clock to black men in terms of how we need to get our health together. And what do I mean by that? We know that cancers like colon, prostate cancer, colon, we got to get our checkups. I'm 50 years old. You got to go get that test, brothers. I know it's a test that a lot of black men, and men in general, but black men in particular, prostate cancer, that we are afraid to go out and get that examination. We don't want nobody, you know what goes on in that examination. They got to put something up there, and we don't, we don't want that. But you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta think about the things that you're eating. I certainly have to watch the things that I eat. Now, every now and then you're gonna splurge on some candy, maybe ice cream, things that you really should not eat. But we really got to think about our health, because this is a brother that was 43 years old. That's young relatively to how society is today. He was a young man, and he had a lot more creativity that he was going to bring to the screen and to us. So, I'm saying right now, black men, we've got to wake up about our health. This should be a wake-up call. John Singleton should have been a wake-up call for us when John Singleton passed away a few years ago. I believe it was a year ago or two. We should have woke up on that. I've got health statistics here. Now, I'm not going to go all over this because I don't want to bore people. I don't want to scare you, but I got to give you just a little taste of this, and you can look this up. Health statistics for black American men. Concerning health statistics observing among black men. Black men in the United States, okay, suffer from worse health than any other racial group in America. Now, that's a fact. We deal with some serious issues, and we got to be honest about that. We got to be honest brokers about that and what we suffer with, okay? For example, as a group, black men have the lowest life expectancy and the highest death rate compared to both men and women of other races in ethnic groups. Disparities in health statistics for more than 17 million black men. Okay, now let me just go over this again. In health statistics for the more than 17 million black men when compared to other highlighted and great needs to better address the causes of why black men are dying. So in a nutshell, black men, we are dying more than women, more than other ethnic groups. We are really getting hit hard. And as a community, as black people, we have a lot of comorbidities. We have a lot of things that are hurting us, which is why COVID-19 did have an effect in our communities, because you got, let's be honest, we got black men out here who've got hypertension. I had an uncle, he had hypertension, and he was told by his doctor over and over again, you got to stop eating salty foods, leave the potato chips down, do all of it. And for a moment, he was strong on his regiment, health-wise, right? And then you know what happens. He started backsliding or going back from the diet and eating the things that he liked to eat. And eventually, it did him in, among other things, okay? Because black people were suffering from diabetes. You've got black people in our community, black people in our communities who have had their legs amputated, have had to have their toes cut because of what diabetes does to you. So you got hypertension, you got diabetes, eating foods that are high in cholesterol, high fatty foods, not exercising enough, working on our cardiovascular, not eating the most healthiest foods that we can eat, the fruits, the vegetables, the spinach, the vegetables, getting more fiber into your diet. As black men, that is very important for us to get more fiber in our diet, given the fact that we're at high risk for things like prostate cancer and what Chadwick Boseman died from, the colon. All of that stuff is connected. We are at high risk for that. Not to mention, after talking about the things that I've talked about on this channel in terms of race in America, I've got an article that I have not done yet. I have not presented yet to you all about how the issues of racism actually exacerbates the stress levels in our bodies that contributes to our shortened life expectancy, ladies and gentlemen. The diet, not only the diet, but the social stressors and evils that we have in this society is not doing us any good. That's why I believe, when Chadwick Boseman, when he passed away, that's why I said earlier, it's a shame that he had to leave this earth knowing that another black man had been shot, like Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back. So that's heavy. And the reports that I've heard is that Chad was actually rushed to the hospital, if I'm not mistaken. Chadwick, prior to him eventually passing away. I want to say condolence to his family. I believe he was married. Now, I could be wrong. Those of you in the chat room who might know this information, put it in the chat room, whether yes or no. Put a yes or no if I'm right or wrong. If I'm wrong, say no, he doesn't have a marriage. But I believe he was married. And if I if I'm not mistaken, if he was married, I want to say condolence to his wife, to his family. This is a brother that comes from South Carolina. Okay. And as I said, he was a graduate of Howard University. Boseman made these statements. That's the magic of this place. That's the magic. When he said that and talked in terms of going for your dreams and not letting fear get in your way, he was simply talking about that Howard University in Washington, D.C., a historical black college, has a certain magic to it, okay? It resonates, and it resonated with him when he went to school there. Anything can happen here is what he said. After graduating from Howard University, Boseman attended the British American Dramatic Academy at Oxford University. He quickly got acting jobs first as he got involved in theater in New York. And then I think he played on a couple of soap operas and stuff like that. So as soon as he finished the Oxford Academy, he got acting jobs very quickly and began to build up his resume. But this is one of the things that I think is fascinating that I'm going to put up here in just a moment. Here we go. I want to put a picture up here of this man right here, who is one of our best actors. I believe this man still does not get the credit that he should get. Matter of fact, this is a man that should have more Oscars under his belt and name than anybody in the history. To me, Denzel Washington should be the Michael Jordan. To me, no, let me correct that. To me, Denzel Washington is the Michael Jordan of acting. The problem is, like Michael Jordan has 6 rings, Denzel Washington should have tons of Oscars on his mantle. He got cheated out of a few. Here's Denzel Washington, folks. Remember, he played in Glory. Should have got an Oscar for that. I think he got supporting actor one year. He should have got an Oscar for Malcolm X. Okay. He should have gotten an Oscar for Soldier Story. The brother should have 12, 10, 20 Oscars falling. He should have Oscars falling out of his pockets. When he goes into his pocket in his pants, he should have Oscar falling out of it because he got so many damn Oscars. So this is a brother that was ripped off. Should have got many more Oscars. He played Stephen Biko. Remember, he played Stephen Biko, one of the leaders in South Africa. He should have got an Oscar for Stephen Biko. Didn't get one, got robbed of that. When he finally got an Oscar, it was for playing a crooked cop. You know, they always do that. They gave Halle Berry an Oscar for playing sort of a sexual role. And then when they give brother Denzel Washington an Oscar, it has to be for playing some crooked cop, even though he did other types of movies that I felt were more, in my mind, and I think you all would agree too, were more Oscar worthy. But what's special about Denzel Washington, he's got a son who's acting right now who I think is going to be doing great things too. What's incredible about Denzel Washington is that this is a man who pays it forward. The reason why Chadwick Boseman, let me say his name right. The reason why this young man, Chadwick Boseman, has been able to go on to play those incredible roles and have a short, successful acting career was because of Denzel Washington, okay? Denzel Washington paved the way for this young man because of this very important reason. You see, when Chadwick Boseman was a student at Howard University prior to graduating, it was Denzel Washington who paid the money that made it possible for this brother to go on to Oxford University in Great Britain to continue his work in theater and acting along with other black students that were a part of his class that went on to these particular prestigious acting schools. So Denzel Washington is his benefactor who made it possible for Chadwick Boseman to be Black Panther. This is how I have to see it. Okay? If there was no Denzel Washington to pay it forward for this young brother, There's no telling if Chadwick Boseman would have been able to get the roles that he got, like the Black Panther, the Marshall movie, and of course 42, where he played Jackie Robinson. There's just no way. Okay? There's just no way. So this is why we as black people, and I thank you all that are here this late night, all 35 of you watching and whoever else there is watching. This is why, and thank you for the super chat. Somebody super chatted me. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the screen and it's moving like popcorn right now. Let me see. G. Scott, have no leaders. I think for myself. G. Scott, I have no leaders. I think for myself. You should always think for yourself.
Thank you for the super chat.
And I want to say thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
You should always think for yourself. Always think for yourself. Let me just say here again, Denzel Washington made it possible for the young man to fulfill his journey into acting and to do the things that he is doing, to do the things that he was able to do before his untimely passing into the next dimension. Let's just say, let's use brothers like Chadwick Boseman and many other black people, black women, black men, whoever who's out there who's doing some successful things. Let's use them as an example to know that we can do anything that we want to do if we just put fear out of our head. But with that fear, black men, we cannot have fear. This goes right to the point. We cannot have fear when it comes to our health. Okay? We cannot be afraid to go get those checkups, to get the blood pressure checkup, to get the colon test, to get all of that. Do not let fear hold you back from seeing and understanding what is going on with your body, so that you can do preventative medicate. You can be preventative. Now medications, I think the best way to prevent these sicknesses is by your diet, your exercise, your spirituality, your meditation, relaxing, taking in life one step at a time, not allowing situations to control you. Are you a reactor, or are you a person who just responds to situations? So taking easy breaths, listening to your heart, taking the time to enjoy the sun, the moon, the fresh air, taking the time to appreciate these things, because we don't know the day or the hour. We do not know the day or the hour. And this is why we need to take heed to this, black men. Black men live 7.1 years less than any other racial group. So we as black men are living 7.1% less than any other racial group on this planet, health-wise. And let's keep this in mind. The reason why we're not living as long is not only because of the health conditions, but we have to think about what causes these health conditions. What is the root cause and effect that cause black men to have this type of health disparity? And that is simply because we're dealing with stress, which is brought on. We live in a stressful world, a stressful society. But this stress is also brought on by the fact that we live in a society where we have to deal with racism, prejudice, profiling. We have to be concerned when we go out our doors that we don't get stopped by a cop who may do harm to us. Then we have to have this internal and external stressor about our children. Will my son be safe? Will my daughter be safe? Can they come home? Then there's the stressor that if you go to school, college, or you get a trade skill and you decide to go work for someone, will I get the job because because they'll look at my qualifications and not the color of my skin, right? The stresses of, will I get that bank loan to expand my business, or will they simply turn me down, because black people are turned down for bank loans to expand their existing businesses by 54%, while white people are only turned down by 24% in comparison to us. You see the disparity? And then let's take it back to the word that people don't want to deal with, which is reparations. If black people were given, and this is for the brothers and sisters that are foundational and brothers and sisters who are ADOS, American descendants of slavery. If we had reparations, that could solve a lot of problems. One, it can increase our access to the best health care and treatment, the best food. We wouldn't be living in, those of us who live in food deserts where you don't have proper nutrition. And that's why you're seeing urban gardens that are popping up in different parts of urban environments, the New Yorks, the Philadelphias, the Detroits, the San Franciscos, the Oaklands, and things of that nature, the Los Angeles. Because we are so impacted by not only the environment, you have environmental racism as well. What comes with environmental racism? Toxins that are inside of our environment. When I lived in Oakland, they did a study some years ago when I lived in Oakland where they found most of the black women that had cancer in the Bay Area, in the San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose Bay Area, most of them were black women who lived in Richmond, California, particularly around areas where you had factories, industrial factories, and toxins that were going in the air. Even in West Oakland, let me correct myself. Even in West Oakland, not Sacramento. Sacramento is the capital of the state of California, but West Oakland is what I meant to say. They found toxins and various things that were harmful to the health of the people that lived in those communities, which were mainly black people. So we have a lot of stressors. Let me just say this. Who knows what type of stressors Brother Chadwick Boseman was under? Because what we tend to see is the success story, right? We tend to see the black man who's seems to have it all in his hand, right? Seems to have the world in his hand because he's a successful movie star, successful character. And we tend to think because of that, okay, this brother's got a great life. He's making money, everything. We don't know what type of stress this brother had to go through trying to break into the Hollywood industry. And I say Hollywood. We don't know what kind of stuff this brother had to deal with to get to where he had gotten to so far in his career. Okay? We don't know how many stereotypes. Matter of fact, they did stereotype him. He was on a soap opera where they had him playing this character where his mama was on drugs and he had an absentee father. That was early in his career before a lot of us even knew who he was. So this is a brother who, when he broke into acting in terms of soap operas, he had a role that was a stereotypical role that they usually give black men and black people. The role where you got no father, you got a mother on drugs or a father on drugs, a no account father, a no account mother, all this type of stereotypical things. So you never know what people are going through. I would say if you got family members, pick up the phone, speak to them. Let's see how they're doing, because you never know what people are suffering from mentally and emotionally. This brother played in great movies. Black Panthers is the one that we know him the best by. Wakanda. Everybody was going around talking about long live Wakanda and all those sort of things. It was the fantasy of, can we actually live in a technological society like Wakanda? Can we actually have that? And then it also makes you think, for those of you that are into sci-fi and comic books, for young people out there, it makes you wonder in your mind, is there such a place like that for black people in the world? Maybe it's not on this earth. Maybe it's in another multiverse. Maybe there's another planet somewhere that black people are on, another multiverse somewhere that black people are on, where they're living like they're living in Wakanda. That's my fantasy. But maybe that could be true. We never know. We never know because the universe is vast. There's many planets out there, and we haven't seen everything that the universe has to offer yet. All we know is what we have here on the planet that we live on. So brother Chadwick Boseman, I want to say peace to him. May he do well in his transition to the next level of the universe that he's in. I want to say to his family members, his wife, if he was married, everybody out there who loved him, the other actors that were working with him, I want to say peace to them because I know that a lot of them are feeling some kind of way. They are not in a good space right now. This is difficult for people who knew this man personally and people who enjoyed the movies and the way he projected. And I think one of his last pictures, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, he might have more movies that he's done but just haven't been released yet because of the situation that we're in. I know he's in the movie The Five Bloods. That's on Netflix. And I still haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to check it out. But I just want to say that black men, we got to worry about our health. We are being impacted. Okay? Let me read this right here. As black men, we have higher death rates than women for all leading causes of death. What is that? Black men experience a disproportionately higher death rates in all leading causes of death, such as 40% of black men die prematurely from cardiovascular diseases, I had said before, as compared to 21% of white men. Black men have higher incidence and higher rates of death from oral cancer. Black men are 5 times more likely to die from various, now they say on here things like HIV and AIDS, but we also know that we can make arguments, we can make educated statements about how they purposely put these diseases in our communities, and then they will purposely label us as the people with these type of diseases. So just keep that in mind. That is something that is a reality. Now, right here, 44% of black men are considered overweight, 24% obese. Black men suffer more from preventable oral disease, like getting your teeth checked out, getting your, things of that nature, and a higher incident of diabetes and prostate cancer, as I spoke of before. So I want to say to the black men that are listening out there, everybody in the chat room, black men in particular, we really got to get a handle on your health, We really got to think about our health, because this is a man who died at 43 years old. Pretty much, he should have never died. It's tough because we don't know a lot of times what are they putting in the air, the food that we eat. So many things are poisoned in this society that we eat. You got the GMO food, genetically modified food. Sometimes you go to the store and you buy stuff and you don't really know if it is or not. Sometimes they don't label stuff. So it's tough. We got to get our diets together, get our weight together. We got to also figure out a way to deal with the institutionalized racism in this society. It brings us a lot of stressors that lead to us dying before we should die. I don't mean to sound depressing or anything like that, folks, but it's just, when I was thinking about this brother passing away yesterday when the news broke, these are things that I had to think about. These are things that we all should think about, especially as men. Let me say, Greg Harris, thank you for being here. Food Delight, thank you for being in the chat room. We got the real Aaron Collins in the house. We got William Webster in the house. Thank you for being here. We've got Nikki in the house. We got Anja. I never get this sister's name right, so I'm going to put a little piece to her in the chat room. Peace to you. Let's see who else we got in here. We got KK's in the house. Sunny Boxing Talk is in the house. Let me see who else is in the house. We got a lot of good people. Earl Owens is in the house. Thank you for being here. Brother Duvian is in the house. B1 for Life is come in the house. RY is in the house. Thank you for being here. We got Pro Woman in the house. Gregory Harris is in the house. We got Panda's Hair is in the house. Thank you for being here, sister. I know it's late for a lot of you. Jackie is in the house. Thank you for being here. And then we got Francis is in the house. I appreciate you too. Appreciate everybody who's come over. You know, this was just something. This was an impromptu live stream. I said I'm gonna do it. I was gonna release this as a pre-produced video for tomorrow, but I just said let me go ahead and say what's on my mind right now. Once again, Chadwick Boseman has passed away at 43 years old of colon cancer, as you know. I believe prematurely. This is not a good thing. I think I hate that this brother has passed away before he could bring us more blessings in his acting roles, because he played roles of very powerful people that made an impact in our society on one level or another. And I would have liked to have seen what the second installment to the Black Panther movie would have been like with this brother. I don't know if they've already completed it and they've got it in the can with this brother already. I don't know. And I don't know if I really want to see another Black Panther movie without this brother in it, because he brought something to the role. I don't know. It would seem weird, because I've attached myself to that being the brother who plays that role. How many of you in the chat room saw Get On Up when he played James Brown? Say yes if you've seen it you've seen this movie. I thought it was a great movie. You didn't hear a lot about it when it first came out. I don't think it got the marketing that it should have gotten, but he did a great job as James Brown in that movie. I think the brother did a fantastic job in that role. There's no doubt in my mind. Let me see who else is in there. They have a instant. Let me see. Okay, so it looks like everybody has seen this movie, KK. And remember again, folks, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do so right away. I would appreciate that. Most definitely. Subscribe to the channel. It won't hurt you. And keep coming back and supporting what I'm trying to do over here. And most of all, as I always keep saying this, subscribe to the channel. Put this in your social media, all your social media. I would appreciate that. I've got more great interviews coming your way, and I've got more of this type of material coming your way. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing here. Make sure that you do me the greatest favor and subscribe to the Information Man Speaks podcast. And that podcast can be heard on Spotify, Anchor, TuneIn, iHeartRadio Podcasts, Castbox, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the different ones, Stitcher as well. Let me put this on the glass and come on and check it all out. And these are another example of some of the platforms I'm on that I have on the glass there, as you can see. So definitely check that out. I appreciate that. And let me put this on here too as well. You can find me on Facebook at Information Man Show and Information Man Speaks Podcast if you want to follow me on my page there. You can follow me on Twitter at Clinton. It's at Clinton06 on Twitter. And of course, you know that I'm on YouTube. Pretty obvious. I'm on here now. And you know that you can find my two channels. We got Information Man Show. And then we got the YouTube version of my podcast, which is Information Man Speaks Podcast. So definitely check those particular platforms out. And I'll definitely appreciate that. I had to talk about this because one of the things, again, that concerns me is that we got too many black men like Brother Chadwick Boseman who are passing away before their time. And we need to be preventative with our health. We need to be preventative in how we want to tackle the stressors that we deal with in society. Everything that we need to prepare ourselves spiritually, emotionally, and physically is linked to our diet, exercise, and spiritual health. Whether it be trying to battle this COVID-19, battle the stressors of racism in America, battle the stressors of the environment, everything that we deal with that impacts our health and that can take us out of here, it starts with your diet and the way you think. Your energy that you vibrate, your mindset that you have, and what you put in your body and what you do with your body as it relates to exercise is most important in trying to stay healthy. That's just half the damn battle. That's just the biggest part of the battle that you can do to use a preventive measure against the things that are happening. So I just want to say, again, to Brother Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, thank you, brother, for all that you've done in your acting, all that you provided us in your acting, the great art that you've left for us to study, for us to watch and inspire ourselves for. Thank you for inspiring students at Howard University and black students all around. Thank you for doing that. I want to say thank you to Denzel Washington, who actually supported this young brother that allowed him to get his career off the ground. And God knows how many more fantastic movies and biographies of other great people in history that Chadwick Boseman could have played. God only can imagine the other great heroes that we've had that he could have brought to life on the big screen, that we'll never know what he could have did and how his career could have elevated itself. But we do know that Denzel Washington was a big part of that reality. So we cannot forget that. We cannot forget that. So with that said, folks, I'm probably going to end this particular live stream. I know it's extremely late for folks in the bed there. I appreciate you all coming over. And maybe let me see here. Oh, Brother Brown has super chatted me. I appreciate that, brother, very much. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
And before I leave tonight, let me do something real quick. Let me see what some of the good folks are saying in the chat room. So let me bring up this up real quick and see what some of you are saying in there. So we got Maurice in the house. Let's see what he's talking about. He's saying that I'm kind of a lookalike. Maurice, you're crazy, man. I'm no lookalike. I mean, you're crazy. Look at Greg Harris here. Let's see what the brother Greg Harris is saying. I do not do any government shots or hell I do not do any what shots? I do not do any gov shots or hell no. Okay. Maurice says again, what's up, information man? I appreciate that, brother. What's up to you? Let's see. Let me see who we got here. We got Francis, who says, great respect you. Thank you. Make sure you share this in your social media, everybody, so that more people can see this. We got, I think this is Brother Aduvian. And Brother Aduvian says, better be worried about the vaccines over the virus. They will do much more harm. Yes, indeed. Let me say this too, while you're at what you're saying, Brother Aduvian. Has anybody heard of this thing called what is this? Let me find this real quick. There's something I want to find real quick. Let me find this real quick. Give me 1 minute, folks, because now my brain is here it is. Oh, how many of you guys have heard of, and I don't know why I just didn't remember this. Watch out for this thing called smart vaccines. Smart vaccines offer a new framework that could help provide a new standard for decision making among various stakeholders in many circumstances, such as a decision making under operative prioritizing under certain resources, complex associations with globalization, economics, and health. So, you know, when I read this, it sounds like gibberish. This is what they got written. I tried to look up what is a smart vaccine that they got coming down the pipeline for us. And do you know, when I Googled this, folks, you can't find a straight answer to what a smart vaccine is. I got this, and when I'm reading it, it sounds like gooey goo. You know, sounds like it's about making money. It's about globalizing these vaccines. It's about, you know, no real answer. Beware of this thing called smart vaccines, because right now there's very little information that they're giving us to tell us, what are you talking about? Are you talking about nanomite? Are you going to put little robots inside of our skin, inside of our blood? What is this? So that's something to think about too. This whole thing, you're going to hear a lot of this wording about smart vaccines, and what the hell is that? All right. He was a great man outside of acting also. Yes, he was. From what I'm hearing, outside of Chadwick Boseman, outside of acting, the brother was doing things out of acting that was positive for our people. And now my man, Real Aaron Collins, says he sent me a super chat of $5. He says, thank you for another great information stream. Information man, brother. Thank you. Let's put what he said on the screen there, and let me give you some love here.
Thank you for the super chat.
Appreciate that. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat room. And we got my man here who gave me the super chat, Brother Brown, who came in the house. Thank you again for that, brother. I appreciate that. He says peace, and I say peace back to you. We got let me see who's in the house. Let's cancel that out. Let's go with Pro Woman. Pro Woman's in the house, and she says, didn't see James Brown black biopic from Hollywood are suspected. Interesting. Well, he did a good job in that movie. That's what I can definitely say. And now we got CRU, who's come in the house, says, peace, information man. Thank you for coming in the house, brother. It's late night. We got William Webster. Put him on the screen. He says, William Webster says, blacks have a special diet different than everyone else. Yeah, but we got special diet, but we got to be more on top of our health. I got to just keep that 100% real with you. We got to be on top of our health, because that's very important. If you don't have your health, you ain't got nothing. We got RY, who has just come in. She says, smart viruses sound like a vaccine chip. Yeah. I think they're talking about something on the molecular level. Something deep on a whole deeper level. But this is the thing. I'm concerned about anything that I put in my body that I don't really know what it is that I'm putting in my body. We need to study this more. But like I said, when you put the word smart vaccine in your Google search, you get very little answers. Very little answers to the question of what exactly it is and how it works. Now, here goes Earl Owens, who says this: smart vaccine strategy, ranking tools for vaccine support software tools from the Institution of Medicine being developed. Interesting. Put that on the screen there. Interesting what that brother just said. So anyway, a pro woman says she's in bed. Peace here. We got another person put them on the screen. Smart vaccine, smart viruses. Interesting. Well, we know that a vaccine is basically they're injecting you with another virus to kill a virus. And in some ways, they're injecting you with the same very virus that you've got that they've manipulated in such a way to kill that virus off. So when you're getting the flu shot, they're really injecting you with, you're getting injected with another virus. And one of the problems I have with vaccines is that you got all different things in them that may not be good for your body. You know, there's a lot of things that we put in our body that weren't built for our body. Now we got my man, Brother Rob, who's come in the house, who says, I put up a few songs on my channel. Check me out. All right, we'll check you out. Everybody check out my man, Brother Rob, his channel. See what Brother Rob has got going on and support him. Appreciate you all coming over. I'm about to conclude this tonight. And Brother Duvian, peace for being here, brother. He's saying salute to CRU. Appreciate you all coming in the house tonight. I'm about to end the stream and say peace and love to all of you tonight. I appreciate you coming over. I appreciate you being here for the stream as we talk about Brother Chadwick Boseman and the fact that he is no longer with us, unfortunately. And I don't think that's a good thing.
Power.
Really don't think that's a good thing. Let me put something back to where I had it. There we go. I've got that back to where I had it. And let me choose. I'm going to choose another picture here. I just, man, this is, it's crazy. We don't want to lose any. Death is or what we know is death. It's tough because you don't see the person physically here anymore. So it hasn't, you know, it's just like your own family. I'm sure some of you in here that are listening to me tonight out there have lost family members. I want to, for anybody in the chat room right now who's lost a family member or has someone in your family that's very, very sick, have lost someone to COVID-19 that you know personally, those of you that are listening that are not in the chat room out there, and those that you will be listening to this video, I want to give my condolences and my heartfelt for those of you who are struggling with people that you love, family members, friends that are being impacted by health issues. Because this is I don't wish any of this on anybody. Anybody to go through this. So with that said, I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with me tonight to celebrate this, brother. Let me just say this too. Once again, I hate the fact that we always have to celebrate black men when they're no longer here, when we should celebrate black men and black women when they are alive and appreciate them when they are alive, because we don't know what's going to happen to them from day to day, from month to month, from year to year. Celebrate your family members when they are alive. If you got a grandfather, a great grandfather that's still alive, sit down with them, take a recorder and record them talking to you. They have history that you need to know, and you need to get that history. With that said, everybody, this is the Information Man. Peace and love to you. I thank you for taking the time to be here tonight. Take care. Love you. Peace.
Information is power. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Tell information is power. Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Information is power. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Information is power. The truth. Information is power. Information is
Tell the
power.
truth. Tell the truth.
Information is power. The truth.
Tell the truth.
is power. The truth. Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Information is power.